Everyone, Blake Sloan here. Brand new market update for you with all the brand new market numbers in for March of 2024. And it's very, very interesting. It's rocking and rolling right now. There's two types of numbers we always talk about. Super important. We share this on our radio show every week. But there's a rearview mirror numbers, which we'll talk about in a minute. That's what the masses uses, which is what closed in February, the previous month. And if they close in February, that means you enter a contract really November, December. And so there's a 30 to 60-day period between going into contract. And so it's very interesting because right now the new pending deals, which is what I call the front windshield numbers, that's what's happening right now, real time in the last 7 days is on fire. This last week has sold more houses that went under contract in the last 7 days than any time last year, 2023, in the summer months, no matter what it was. And that's very, very important. Anytime you're around 200 million or more in a 7-day period, that means that market is on fire. And so right now, if you look at the last 7 days, I'll put up real time right now, the last 7 days here on the Grand Strand overall, 628 properties under contract for $255,671,000. So $255,671,000, which is huge right now in terms of that, because what that means is a lot of people are buying, even though rates have gone back up a little bit. And what's happening is you're seeing the spring market happen sooner than later, right? Typically it comes in late March into April. This year you've seen that February, March, because so many home buyers were on the sidelines for November, really October, November, December. Rates came down the last couple of weeks of December. Everyone jumped in January, February. Our team put 70 properties on our contract just in January, and we're still riding that through right now. And it's fascinating. I told my team, look, this is a gift right now. We're burning candle at both ends. And I share that because you're thinking about selling. You want to do it earlier rather than later. But we'll look at the recap numbers for you about that. Rates are really good right now. Right now, rates are 7.03%, and inventory is climbing. So if you go back to really early January, I'll go back right now to January 3rd, there was 915 houses for sale, single-family homes in Horry County that are resale homes. Right now, we're at 1,026. So up 100 plus, which is good. Rates right now 7.03%, which is awesome, awesome news. If you go to closed deals last month, overall here in the Grand Strand, we covered decent. Sales were up 2.8% from where they were last year, which is good news. So, for example, in February, there were 333 properties closed versus last year was 2.6 below that. So very, very, very similar. If you go to February last year, it's 324 properties. So very, very close to where it was before, which is great news. Now, price has been very, very resilient, even when rates were 8% last year. Right now, median sales price up 7.6% year over year, $382,000, which is awesome. If you look at average sale price, it's up even more, up 13.6% from last year, $487,451, so $487,000, which is awesome, awesome news there. So what's happening is low supply has been keeping prices protected, even though rates were very high. Sales were very low last year in 2023. All the way back to the early 90s was the last time it was that low, but prices did not decline here, at least on the Grand Strand. One thing protecting that has been inventory. Right now, inventory is at 3.3 months of inventory. Very, very, very low. It's still a super seller's market, meaning that you have the advantage as a home seller. In January, 3.3 months of inventory. February, 3.3 months of inventory. December is a little bit low at 3.2 months, and in January, people put their house on the market. Those are the ones that typically wait through the holidays, and we've seen that. But what we've seen is an absolute frenzy right now for January, February, which has been very, very interesting. There's still a lot of properties that aren't selling, and the main reason right now is showings are down year over year, down 9.3%. So right now, the average amount of showings per listing in the entire MLS, and this is from data that the MLS uses to give access to properties, right? So when somebody schedules a showing, they all use the same software. And right now, the average showing per listing is 4.9 showings per listing. The problem is the average amount of showings per contract is 14.1. And so a big difference there, and that's actually down 6.6%. So right now, the average listing needs 14.1 showings to get an offer. The problem is the average listing only gets 4.9. So almost 3 times as many showings are needed than they're actually getting. And that's why it's so important right now in this market that you have an agent who's an expert, you have an agent who can afford to spend marketing dollars on your behalf, We had someone call the office yesterday. Their house hadn't sold. They had dropped the price $30,000. They had offered a buyer's agent bonus and still had not had anything. It was just expiring. And it turns out they didn't even have a for sale sign. We asked why, and the agent said a for sale sign wasn't good, that it created vandalism, which we all know is total BS. Look up the agent sales. They haven't sold anything. The reality is most likely is that agent couldn't afford a for sale sign. They're a small independent brokers where they're on their own. They get a high split. There's no team, no backing, and that's why it's important to make sure right now that you have someone who can differentiate your property as this market has been coming back a little bit, which is great news for home sellers. Condo market has taken a little bit of a struggle for sure. Sales down 5.1% from the same month last year. 355 condos sold overall. If you look at sales price has done pretty well for condos, up 8.8% for median price, which is awesome news. $230,000 right now is the median price for condos. Average sale price is up 10.6% for condos at $276,940. Supply up a little bit from where it was. Right now at 4.9 months of inventory, which is high for condos. We've seen a lot of those sit in the market longer. We've seen some condos see struggles right now due to increasing HOA amounts, increasing insurance, increasing issues with roofs and roofs being covered in insurance. We've been very good at that in getting our clients' condos sold. That's because you got to be very good. There's 20 condos for sale in the same complex. You better make sure your agent's good at what they do overall. That's one thing there. They're very similar showings per listing and showings per pending. Right now, the average condo on the entire MLS is only getting 3.0 showings per listing. The overall average amount of showings that you need to get is 9.7. And so there's the same problem there, 3 times the amount of showings needed that are getting. And so if you want to get your property sold, I'm just telling you right now, I would not wait until summertime, I would not wait till late spring. That's because rates came down earlier than anyone thought. They initially thought they'd go down the next few quarters into fourth quarter in the election. That has since been, the opinion has been changed. Rates bumped back up. And the good news is right now is that buyers are still buying because they've been on the fence and it's still fairly affordable based on what's happening. So if you want to know more about your property, we can get you human valuation, but also we have some amazing software. You can just pull it up on your phone and go to blakesloan.com here. There's also a link in your email. There's a link on our webpage here that this video is on, and you can get an instant update on your home value. We spend $1,000 a month on that software every month. It pulls from multiple data sources, so not just a Zillow, Realtor.com, pulls from all the major data sources. It's fully unbiased. And what happens is you can have your own dashboard for all your properties. If you own 15 properties in 15 different states, you can put all 15 in the same dashboard and pull up real-time equity, real-time what's going on, all the comps around them, all of that for free just by using our tool. We know because if you do sell eventually, most likely you'll reach out to us. We'd love to help you serve you in that. Also, you get an instant cash offer on that thing. The same thing, there's a button to click on that website. You just click cash offer. It's also in this email that we sent you on there, which is super valuable. And as usual, the one thing we talk about radio show every week is that we outspend the average agent 100 to 1 from a marketing standpoint. And right now, we need listings. We have 75,418 active home buyers, 75,418 active home buyers with a username, password, account from all over the globe. We got South America. We've got some in Europe. We got Canada. We got West Coast USA. We got South in Florida. We got the Northeast especially. And so if you're thinking about selling, reach out, call me. You don't want to waste an opportunity right now with your largest asset. We're seeing a lot of horror stories where people are putting their house on the market with average agents, with low marketing budgets, and leaving a lot of equity on the table. But anything at all, call me in the office, 843-808-SOLD. You can also reply to this email and say, hey, Blake, here's my question. We're here to serve you. Also, feel free to check out our radio shows on Saturdays and Sundays on WRNN. We also stream those on YouTube, and we love to help serve you in any way.